Hi everybody, welcome to our playthrough of Cirque. We're going to be doing a two-player version today. We've got the game all set up. We have the feats and the renown all set up on the reward board. We've got the modular action tiles, and then we've got our own player boards and our player markers. I'm Jeremy. This is Aya, my greatest adversary. One thing I did not do was we need to each start with 6 money. We have also chosen our ringleaders. So I'm going to be playing as the financier.
I'll be the
collector. And already from the start, one of the things that you'll notice, and throughout this video, I'm going to be splicing in some tabletop simulator screenshots that kind of recreate this game so that you can kind of see clearly what we're doing. And as part of that, I will also flash these ringleader cards up on the board. One of the things you'll notice right away is on the reward board, we've got renown section has allure tags on it. That's one of the shared objectives. And then it also has single discipline on it. And this is the kind of thing that already from the very beginning privileges Aya a little bit, because one of her ringleader scoring abilities is allure tags, and the other part of it is curiosities. And so I have to assume as an opponent that she's going to be going for lots of curiosities, which would be single discipline, and then lots of allure tags. And so I may then look to tailor my strategy elsewhere, or I may look to challenge her, but it's just like something, it's information you have from the beginning that you can use to figure out what you want to do. First things first, we're going to deal 6 cards for each person.
No, you love it when I touch the cards before you're done.
I know. That's 6. And then the other thing we do is we flip 3 cards into the hiring galleries so that we have this information. We're going to be playing, I'm not going to look at your cards, we are going to be playing a little more open hand than we normally do, just because we'll be narrating the things we do and the decisions we make. And so part of the strategy here at the beginning is to try to get cards you can actually play at the beginning. I got a very, very bad opening. It's like all 5, 6s, 8s.
Right. So each card has a ticket value, and so we want to start a little bit lower. Like we're each starting at 1. We also need our cubes here. I'll take my
take your cubes.
So we're each starting at 1 ticket value, which means we will likely want to have performers that are at least 1, maybe 2, so that we can actually play something like Jeremy said early on and hire a performer. I think I fared better than you in my opening hand.
You probably did. I forgot to set out the feet or the spec tiles. Those are set up now as well. I'm sure you'll see those in play momentarily. We can. I didn't make a lot of room for a discard pile, so we can just do that.
Cool.
I'm gonna get rid of that one. And
some of the other things I'm looking at, as Jeremy mentioned, some of the renowned do correlate really well with my ringleader. But there may be other things that I want to aim for, so I'm kind of looking at what some of the feats are. If that helps me decide which cards I keep. It doesn't today.
Not today.
Sometimes it does. And then we all start with 4.
We all start with 4 cards. I haven't done the ringleader guide yet. You'll see that coming soon. The hustler is one ringleader where you get to keep all your cards and you sort of can hold more at one time, but you're able to hold 5 cards at one time. That's it. When you get to the end, when you collect more than 5 in your turn, you have to discard down to 5 at the end of your turn. So
the other thing that happens with the curiosity, and I think a few other ringleaders, is that before my first turn, I get to draw a card that is either a curiosity or has the allure tag. So I will do that as my opening move. Am I going first?
You can go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. So drawing here until I get one of those things. So second card I drew is a curiosity, so I will keep that into my hand, and then I do get to keep it even though I exceed 4 in the opening.
And it's only at the end of her first turn that she would have to discard down to 5 if she still had more than that. Well, and you have 5 anyway, so it's fine. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm starting. Let's see, so, player marker. I will take my player marker and go ahead, and hire. So I'm taking the Circus Manager action. In this action, you get to hire, then retire, or retire only. Obviously, I don't have anything to retire, so I will be hiring my aerial hoop, which is an acrobatics. Place it in the first slot here, and then I will pay 4 and get 1 back, and that is my move.
That's your move.
So,
and it does not activate now because it is a red ability, which only activates during the performance action. So you hire it, nothing else happens. I am going to do the talent scout first because, again, an unlikely occurrence, but I have nothing that's even remotely close to being able to play. So I'm going to grab the goat, and those ones are pretty hard to do as well. So I'm going to grab one other card there, and then I'm going to discard the panther from the hiring gallery. I do this, but the problem is now I have 6 cards, so I got to get rid of one. And actually, I should have done that before I reset the hiring office, but I already knew which one I was getting rid of, so I'm not
sure you did.
Not cheating.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So I have 2 monies. I got cards and performers. 2 monies, 2 money. We don't really have a lot to do with that in terms of hiring. So I think I will do, let's see. What I could do is I could perform to get more money in order to then hire more. But before I perform, I'm going to do the signing bonus so that I can get peanuts, which will help me to take potential spec options when I do eventually perform. And then as part of my signing bonus, I also do, I choose between 2. I get a popcorn. We always call these thumbs.
Thumbs.
Approval, thank you.
Yeah.
Our house lingo, thumbs. So I get popcorn, approval, and then a money, but I choose 2 of those things. So I need money, so I'm going to do that. And then I am going to also give myself an approval so that I move up 1.
Okay, very good. Now, you just watched me, well, you can't see it, but I picked up the goat. And the goat is a level 2 reputation requirement. My circus, I didn't put my cubes out. My circus is only a level 1 at the moment. And so as I detailed into how to play, one option would be to take the barker action a couple of times to get my approval around the horn, and so I can go up 1 level. The second option is the more efficient, but more short-term, not as much long-term option. And that is to take the same action that Aya just took to get some peanuts. She, by virtue of already being there, gets a popcorn out of that. I'm also going to, for my 2 resources, I'm going to take a popcorn and I'm going to take a coin. And that's my turn.
Cool. Ooh, okay, from here, I will... I'm blind. I will... perform. And so when you perform, the first thing you do is move the rest marker up. You get 3 monies. I get 3. And then you perform all of your red actions in the big top. So I have mine as the acrobatics. So first things up is that I gain 2 approval, and I also get a money. This just happens to be the only performer I have in either the big top or the sideshow, so that ends that. But I also need to rotate all of my big top cards forward or backward at the end of the turn. Since I don't have any more actions, this would be the end of my turn. And so I could technically move it to slot 2, or I could move it backward to slot 6. I'm going to move it to slot 2. Reason being, as we hire more, I have to activate from 1 through 6. So if I moved it to 6, I wouldn't be able to activate it as soon as I would like. And it's not likely that I'll fill up my big top in this first round.
That's pretty smart.
Thanks.
Are you purchasing a spec tile as well?
I am, yeah, good call. So you can purchase spec tiles in the beginning of your turn or the end of your turn.
Beginning of the phase
3
3 of the performance.
And so you have options to spend 2 peanuts or 4 peanuts. I only have 3, so I will spend 2 to pick up something on the silver side, and I'm going to pick up the approval option, and you put it at the top little spot at the top left, and then you will also activate that during your performance of the red top. So I will, or big top, red tent.
Red tent, big top.
And so I will get 1 extra approval for that.
And she already had the peanuts. She could have done that at the beginning of that phase. So in this case, it doesn't matter. But for instance, if your circus engine generates you peanuts and you need to earn them first before you can spend for something here, you can instead choose to do it at the end of your big top action, the phase of the performance action. But you can't split them. You have to choose either beginning or end to activate the whole spec system. Okay, so you performed. You're good. I'm going to take my, that's you. I'm going to take my gorilla. These will be color coded in the final version. They're just sort of, these are the early samples. These aren't even injection molded yet. And I'm going to do Circus Manager. As I've mentioned in the other video, this one you have the option of hiring first, then retiring something. You have to do it in that order, but you do not have to do both of those things. Obviously, I have nothing to retire from my Big Top into my sideshow, so I play the goat. Again, I'm level 1, the goat is level 2, and so I have to spend 3 peanuts in order to reduce that requirement, and I have to spend my $5 or 5 coins to do that, and that's my action.
Cool. I didn't even look at these feats. Menagerie.
While she's looking, one thing that I should note as well is that her ringleader has 2 allure tags. My ringleader has 2 cunning tags. We have here, one of the gold feats is 3 sets of tags. So basically 3 of each of them. And ringleaders can contribute to things when it comes to like card abilities. If those reference tags or other things, they count. But the ringleaders can never contribute towards anything on the reward board. And so these 2 cunning and those 2 allure, they simply don't count towards those 3 sets. We have to earn them ourselves, so to speak. So to speak.
Which is a rule I did not vote for, so here we are.
Well, so it is.
But through playtesting, we learned that's definitely the way to do it.
It gives, particularly if you're playing the marketer, it just gives it too much of an advantage right away. The marketer has all 5 tags to start.
Okay, so your last thing was to hire. It's Circus Manager.
Incidentally, the
marketer is me.
is you.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a coincidence, but let's see. Okay, I have. Okay, so I have still out ticket value 1. I have in my hand a few that are more than that, and rather than getting peanuts to then decrease the value, what I'm going to do is Barker. And so the Barker will give you 4 approval, and then I will pay a peanut, as I have one, to get an extra approval, just to have it. Always good to look ahead. And since I crossed myself here as the ticket value, I go up 1. So I'm at level 2 now, and every time I've upgraded, you get a popcorn or multiple popcorn as you go along. And so now I'm at ticket value 2, and that was my turn.
That's your turn. I'm going to go back here to signing bonus. My reasoning will be clear momentarily. So I'm
You don't
going
want
to
to tell me now?
Well, I don't want to explain it twice. So I'm going to get my 3 peanuts. I'm going to get a popcorn, and I think I'm going to take another money. I'm trying to play a little bit a heavy money game because the financier gains certain benefits like compounding interest over time. Not compounding interest, but the more money I have, the more I get during rest periods as interest payments, essentially. And so I'm privileging that at the moment.
Let's see. Okay, so I will. Circus Manage, and I will the Wunderkammer. I will hire in slot 1 since it is the most recent update available slot. So I couldn't just hire it at 3. Have to fill slot 1. It is ticket value 2, which I just upgraded to, and then I have 6 coins. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, and that is my turn. But it is a curiosity. It also has the allure tag. Part of my collector ringleader actions are that each time I hire an allure tag, I gain 2 monies and 2 popcorn. 2 popcorn, 2 monies. And then each time I hire a curiosity, which this just so happens to be 1 of each, I then get 2 more popcorn and 2 approval. So 2 approval there. It's like the first time I ever used the word approval.
Approval,
instead of thumbs.
That's okay. Yeah, you're on the clock right now.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Got to use the appropriate lingo. And then that is my turn.
That's your turn. And one other point of clarification. This is a terminology thing, but if the Wunderkammer had 2 allure tags, she would still just earn that 1 time. Earn the allure tag bonus from the collector just 1 time. It's each time the thing happens and not how many there are. And then if you're noticing this card is a little bit bendy, we actually upped the material. Like when we got the sample, we felt these were a little bit flimsy. So that'll be different in the final game. I don't want people thinking, that's one of the things that samples are for. I am going to perform now. So I increase the rest marker there. I'm going to use my 2 peanuts there to grab this silver speck tile, which is, I get a card out of it. And the card that I want is the ring toss. So I'm taking that. And that all happens before, right? I've just done the sort of spec thing before getting to my circus engine, my big top engine. The goat says ask another player to pet the goat. If they do, gain an approval and 2 money. If not, gain a money and a card. Will you pet my goat? Thank you very much. I'll take the approval. I'll take the 2. Oh, and I forgot my money. So as the financier, I actually get an extra 2 money base per performance. And so I got 5 from the performance itself. And then I'm getting an extra 2 alongside that approval from the goat card. And since, again, we're at the beginning of the game, I get nothing else. So that's my turn.
Awesome. Okay, and then I have, let's see, 3 money. That's not enough for nothing. I will. So 2 options here. I could perform to get more money in order to play some of the higher costing performers. I could also instead go to signing bonus, which is what I'm going to do because I want to potentially get peanuts, maybe use them to hire or collect another spec. I also have a card in my hand that costs 4, and since I'm at 3, one of the things I'm going to do is my choose 2 is get an extra money. So I will get my 3 peanuts, and then I will get an approval, and then 1 more money.
Okay, very good. I'm going to hire. I'm going to hire the ring toss. I can hire this into any slot in my sideshow. I'm just going to keep it neat and keep it top left. I have no patterning objectives that I have right at this moment, so I'm just sort of guessing. That cost me, it's a level 1, so I can do it. It cost me 7, so I pay my 7. And I should note at this point that that's a hire. Because it can only live in the sideshow, it goes straight into the sideshow. If I wanted to, I'm not going to do this, I could take my goat and retire it over to the sideshow. That's one of the ways you can have fill your engine over here for maximum benefit, but then still be able to move something over without kind of burning a move just on retiring. But I'm just going to hire that. Simple as. We're good.
So I forecasted what I was going to do. So I'm going to do it. Normally in a competitive game, I would take an extra move so as not to maybe give him a popcorn by going to the same spot, but I am going to do that now. So he'll get a popcorn since he's already there.
Just so you know, she would have done that smarter.
Yeah, I would have been much smarter about that.
You have to say it out loud.
I do have to, yeah. Circus manage. So I am going to hire, and I'm deciding between, let's see, okay. Not deciding because this is one that is 4 money, so I'm going to play that as that's what I have in my hand. So it is the knife thrower. It is a game of chance. It costs me 4.
One of the few games of chance that can live in the big top.
In the big top. Again, as part of my ringleader, I hired a performer with an allure tag, so I will get 2 popcorn and 2 monies for playing that. And then I am not going to retire anything, so everything will stay in my big top.
Oops, we never refilled the hiring office. We obviously have the things we want.
Yeah.
I'm going to perform, partly because I need some money, but partly because I've just seen this monkey and I want it because it is it's one of the money generating cards in the game. So I'm going to get my 5. I have to increase the rest marker, get my 5. I'm going to take the monkey from the spec tile that I have. I get my 1 approval. Will you pet my goat?
No.
She's not going to pet my goat, so I'm going to get another card, and now I have to decide whether to keep this card or not, but that's my own business. I got my approval there, and then I get 1 coin.
Yeah, so
for
there
not-
are kind of like menagerie performers that allow you to either pet or not pet. You get something either way. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. It kind of depends. And you don't really know as the opponent if it betters them to get a card versus an approval. Right now, approval, this is my calculation, seems pretty good because we're early in the game. And the more that you get approval, the more you get popcorn as you move up, the more he'll be able to play other performers that are maybe higher ticket value. So I'm taking a guess, but also having cards to choose from is also a good option too, potentially.
Except for I had to get rid of one.
Which I knew.
Yeah.
I did know that. Let's see. So he performed. I feel like I'm just following him now. I will. Let's see. Is there anything that I want down here? Okay. I'm going to go to the Barker first, and I'll tell you why. I do need money in order to then hire more. But with the Barker, I will get 4 approval, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could spend a popcorn to get that extra. I'm not going to. It bumps me to ticket value 3, which gives me a popcorn. When I perform next, which is going to be my next move, my first card will force me to decrease my approval. And I don't want to backtrack, so I want to make sure that I'm up to the next level because you never drop down once you have reached that level.
That's right.
So
I'm going to take the signing bonus, get myself 3 more peanuts. I have 4 now. You can hold up to 6. And then I'm going to take a money, and I'm going to take a thumb, and approval. Go ahead.
Get a thumb, take a wound.
Take a wound.
So next move, as I mentioned, will be the performance, excuse me. I move the rest track up. I get 3 monies as just part of performing. And then I activate all of my red tents in the big top. First thing I would have to do is lose 3 approval. I'm already at starting point, so I ignore that. And then if my ticket value is less than 3, I gain 3 peanuts. It is not less than 3. That was kind of the calculation. I could have got peanuts that way, but basically this card is kind of just null and void. Next one is that I gain 2 and then 1 monies. And then I'll rotate everything back or forth at the end of my turn. And then with my game of chance, the knife thrower, I get to choose 2, a money, a approval, a thumb, or a peanut. I'm going to choose, let's see how much money I have. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to choose money and then also a peanut. And then I have 4 peanuts now, so I will spend them to grab another spec. And I will grab one of them that costs 4. It's all that's left, which will give me an additional money, a peanut, and then the other silver spec that I had was an approval. That's my move.
Okay, very good. I'm going to now go to the Barker.
Did you activated your blue top?
I didn't. I just realized that. I was too busy narrating over here and I forgot. So in a house rules, we would go, oh, I forgot to do that, and we do it real quick. We're going to play by the letter of the law this time. I forgot. It's my problem. So I have a couple of options with the financier. I can spend a coin instead of a peanut to get that 5th Barker. So as it stands, I get 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, I'd like to be 1 more to get 1 reputation level up. I can spend this peanut. I kind of like to keep 4 there. So instead, I'm going to spend 1 coin to get my 5th, to increase to 2, and to gather my popcorn. That's it. We're going to pick up the pace here so that we can get competitive.
Oh, are you just now turning on your competitiveness? Because I.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. So we've got that. I will.
Did you rotate your cards?
I didn't. Good call. House rules, but I have to.
Well, this is bad. So you have to do it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is move this curiosity, the Wunderkammer, down to slot 6. Everything else will go in this direction, which will help me as I'm circus managing and hiring again another curiosity, a 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. I will not. I will retire. going to go ahead and retire Winter Karma. And just like Jeremy, I don't have any rhyme or reason as to where I'm putting them. Don't have any objectives about the order, so we're just going to put it at the top left.
Okay. Did you get your bonus for the curiosity?
Not yet. That was my next step. So I hired the broom suspension, which is the curiosity. It allows me to get 2 popcorn and 2 approval.
Nice try. Grabbing the
I know.
10s. Should we put the singles on top?
2 and then 2 approval. Okay, great.
Okay. I'm now going to hire as well, as if you need more popcorn.
So I will get 1 for him traveling to the
1,
same
2.
spot.
So 7 money. I'm hiring the solo trapeze into my second big top slot.
Okay.
And that's it. Paid my money.
So let's see. I do need cards. Do need to have more performer options, but one of the things that I'm calculating is that at a 2-player game, there's a little icon here that shows when we would hit rest, and I don't want him to necessarily beat me to that, and I would like to perform one more time. So one of the actions I'm going to take is next to perform again. We move this up. I get 3 monies by virtue of performing, and then activate all of my red. 2 approval, 1 monies. I'll rotate everything at the end of my turn. I get to choose between 111, money, approval, or a peanut. I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, I'm going to do approval because it will knock me into the next category and get me an extra popcorn for leveling up. And then I will do a money. The broom suspension, I get approval, popcorn, and a peanut. Popcorn, peanut.
You're made of popcorn over there.
Yeah, mind your business. And then I don't have any blue tents in my sideshow, so I don't activate anything for that step 4.
Okay.
But I do need to rotate everything. So I will rotate forward. Oops, and then I also, apologies, activate my spec. So I get 1 extra there, I get a peanut, and I get a money. Cool.
Okay. There's a couple cards here I want, and I'm afraid of them going away, so I'm going to grab them now. I'll take this and get rid of that just because, but then I got to decide, you know, there's something here that I have to get rid of, and I think I'm going to get rid of that. So that's my move. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go fish, ostrich, balloon animals.
Okay. So you knew I was going to... So here he gets a popcorn traveling to where he was. He revealed the ostrich, which
Yeah, I
has
don't
an
want
allure
you to have that card.
has an allure tag. It also has abilities at rest and or at the end of the game, in-game scoring abilities that count the allure tags you have, which is obviously works very well with what I've got going on. So I will grab it, even though it's a ticket value 8. Probably won't play it for a minute, but I am moving up my track. So we'll see. And then I don't want anything else on the board, so I'm just going to go fish. That's my game. And then I get to I get to get rid of something just from that's part of the action. You draw 2, discard 1, and then we refresh.
Okay. All right. I'm going to perform, which one am I? I'm green, which will put us into rest. So I move that up. It's on the 2-player rest trigger marker, but I have to take my performance first. So increase that. I get my 5 because I am the financier. I get a card because I'm the spec. I think I'll take the short change artist. And that means at the end of this turn, I'll have to get rid of something. And then I move on here. I get, will you pet my goat?
Sure.
Thank you. Get an approval and 2 more money. And then I get 1, 2, 3 from the solo trapeze. And then at the end of this turn, I have to swap it with something else, which obviously will be the goat. Then I have my ring toss. Roll the die. If you roll more than an 8, gain 4. I rolled a 7. I get nothing. And that's it. So I have to swap these two, which is fine. Just fine by me. And that's it. So now we move into the rest period. I'm the one that triggered rest, and so a lot of the things that, like the purple abilities, for instance, I have to decide whether I'm making a renown claim first, and then she can make her decision based on that. So first things first, we have to retire something. I'm going to retire my goat over here. I'll let her decide that. And then we have rest abilities in general. So we do this you can activate rest abilities in any order you want in player order. So I'm going to do the ones on my board before I do a renown claim. The ring toss gets me 2. So I'm going to take 2 coins there. And then on my financier, I gain 1 coin for every 4 I have in my supply. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 11 coins, and so I gain 1 for every 4. I gain 2 more money. The reason I'm doing it in that order is because the other purple ability here is I may trade 2 coins for 1 popcorn up to 5 times. I only have 5 popcorn, so I need to spend 6 to get my last 3 popcorn to spend those 8 popcorn to make a renown claim. And I'm going to go for money in hand, obviously. That's going to be, that's going to be my play. Okay. And that's everything from me.
Okay, so I have the popcorn already because I planned ahead. And then
Is that why?
and then I will do what Jeremy mentioned at the top of the game, which is go for the allure tags. Makes sense with my ringleader and all the cards that I'm playing. And then we also get rid of our specs if we opted in for those. Those will go.
We get rid of all the spec stuff.
Oh, and I actually have a rest icon. I forget.
Oh,
so I just retired this one, but it will activate. So I gain a bunch of things. I get a money, a thumb, a peanut, and a popcorn, which I would do before I actually did my renown. So
you could do it after. It doesn't matter.
If I didn't have the popcorn, say I had 7, I might do it first so that I could have 8. A thumb and a money. Okay. So, and one of the things that we
reset this. I reset the hiring office. I reset the spec.
Cool. Yeah, one of the things I did not account for, which I should have, was I technically already had this feat before I retired one of mine, but I forgot to grab it. So.
If you wanted to, you may have. It is
right.
the least valuable one on the board. So.
But given what I'm going for, some of those other feats, I'm not sure will happen, and so maybe they also won't happen for Jeremy. So it's kind of like, okay, do I go for something that is fewer points, but it guarantees me some points before he grabs them? Okay, so he rested us, so it is my turn. Everything is reset. Reset the spec options. Do you have more than 5 cards? Or can you hold
Oh, I do. Yeah, sorry. No, I do. Oh, I don't know what okay, I gotta get rid of.
Ooh.
Let's get rid of that one.
I also, backtracking, get to draw from the deck until I draw a curiosity at rest. So I get to do that again. Same thing as before. It's an acrobatics.
Or an allure tag.
Yeah.
It really is your lucky day. There you go.
Got it. Okay. Curiosity. So sometimes it takes a minute. Okay. And then it is my turn. Let's see.
But you didn't plan this out?
So many options. Okay. I am going to do circus manager. Someone's impatient. I will hire the fire eating. It is 6. Oop. And then it is a curiosity, which means that I get 2 popcorn, 2 approval. 2 popcorn, 2 approval. Awesome. And then I don't have anything else because that is it. I don't want to retire.
Okay. I'm going to hire. Yeah, I'm going to hire. So you get a popcorn for that. Actually, no. I'm going to be strategic. You got enough popcorn. I'm going to go Barker first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Increase that. Get my popcorn. That's my turn. These are like, there are a couple things I have to do anyway. That was on the list. And so I'm just taking them in a strategic order. Obviously, that interaction happens more in a 3 and 4 person game than in a 2-person game. There's kind of a meta game involved in the 2-person game.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What else is there? Okay, I'm gonna talent scout. I'm going to grab the theatrics. I'm tempted to grab this curiosity. I don't love its actions, if I'm being honest. But I'm gonna do it because it adds value somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And then this is the only one left, so we discard it and then we refill. Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one for you. You're making out like a bandit here.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm gonna have to play pretty hard.
Yeah, he's already losing.
I'm not. I might be. You're good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna hire now. I'm gonna hire the short change artist. That's all my money. Again, no rhyme or reason. I guess I'll probably put it there just in case there's something patterny with something. And that's it.
Whew, okay.
I'm not going to retire anything.
It's like, so I already have 5 cards, which is the max I can hold. So if I were to grab something, I would have to discard something, which... One of the things about having a ringleader card that is catered toward a certain discipline is that sometimes you go very hard in that discipline.
Yeah, it's set collection.
And then you might risk not getting other things like the feats, which do add up in points. And so there have been many games where we played where we kind of privileged one or the other, and it did come back to bite me.
It came back to bite us, yeah. That's how it goes.
This is where I am debating here. So I think I will... you gonna take these cards from me?
I ain't telling you what I'm doing. While she's noodling over there, I say this tea that I'm drinking is from China. We recently visit the factory that's making Cirque, and we didn't buy this particular tea when we were at the factory, although we did buy some in nearby tea plantations. So this is from Chongqing.
Which is very fun. Okay. I will... Let's see. Okay. What I'm going to do... What are you laughing at? Looking at my cards.
I'm not cheating.
I'm
laughing at you.
Going to do same exact action. I'm going to take curiosity, discard here, and I will get rid of these 2 cards in my hand, so I'm still at 5, and then we refill. Let's see what else there is. What else am I missing out on? Ooh.
You have enough cards. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Barker for reasons I will show you in a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I am going to circus manage, hire the Chupacabra skeleton. It's only 2 monies, which is all I have. I wouldn't necessarily want to hire this one here, but when I perform next, I want to be able to perform everything, and if I had this slot empty, I would have to skip my Act 4. So that's some of the calculation. I'm also constantly going to be losing and gaining reputation as part of a lot of the curiosities abilities in the red top. So I hired, I'm not going to retire, but this was a curiosity and it also had an allure tag. So I will activate 2 of the actions on my collector ringleader. I will get 2 popcorn, 2 money, and then 2 popcorn, 2 approval. 2 popcorn, 2 money, 2 approval, 2 more popcorn. Okay, I'm going to switch this out for a 10.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna perform. So I increase the rest marker. I get my 5. I'm not going to do a spec for, again, reasons that I'll show you. Gain 3 approval from my solo trapeze, 1, 2, 3. That's the only thing in my big top. And then moving over here to the sideshow, I'm going to first, you can do these blue abilities in any action. One thing I just realized, this was intentional, I just forgot, is I did achieve the 3 blue ability feat. So it's not a very valuable one, but it's mine. So I can do these in any order. I'm going to do the goat first because that gets me over the hump there. I get my extra level there, gets my popcorn, my reputation level, get a popcorn, and I get 1 money from that ability. And then I'm going to do my game of chance. I have to roll more than an 8. I rolled a 6, which is lame. I get nothing. Here, I would lose 3 approval to gain and gain 4 money. I can't lose any more approval because I'm at the beginning, but I do still get my 4 money. So I'm going to make some change here, and now I have 10. It's a good deal.
Okay. I am.
And I am currently 2 cards behind. This is one of the things you have to sort of track in Cirque, is you gotta know where the other person is so that you don't get caught with your pants down.
I'm performing, so that's why he grabbed a popcorn, since I'm traveling to the same place he just already is. Get my 3 monies. I'm gonna move that rest track up. I activate all my red tents. I gain a peanut and a popcorn. Popcorn and then a peanut. And then if I perform all 6 big top acts, I also gain an additional popcorn peanut. I'm not going to because I have 2 empty slots. Gain 2 approval, which bumps me up to 5 with 1 money as well. And because I bumped up a level of approval, I also get 2 popcorns for being at level 5. And then I'll rotate everything per my aerial hoop at the end of my turn. I also lose 2 for the chupacabra. Remember, you can't go down a level, so I just lose 1, stop there. And then I will gain 3 monies and a peanut. I usually don't play a heavy curiosity game, and I can't remember the last time I played the version of Collector in its early stages. It's kind of fun.
It is. It's a fun ringleader.
And then you just have to be prepared to lose reputation and get where you need to be. Oh, let's see. I think I may have too many peanuts. 2, 4, 6. I do.
Cheater.
And then I also get a thumb and a popcorn. And then I still don't have any blue tents in the sideshow, so that is everything for me, minus being able to hire a spec, which I will do. I'm going to pay 4 to get the money and popcorn option. Gives me an extra money and a popcorn. Okay, that is my turn.
Okay. If I had been smarter, I would have spent 2 to get this 1 popcorn, because really all I needed was 3 out of my 4 popcorn to hire. Balancing, it's a clown, and that increases, and I have to spend the 3 because my circus was only a 4 and it's a 5. But I get a reputation level from it, which means I get these 2 popcorn. And what you can see is that even though I don't have as many things on the board as one of my strengths is expensive cards, and those expensive cards tend towards cards that are also have higher prerequisites. And so I'm kind of trying to build my circus relatively quickly on the reputation side of things so I can get the starting cards, which were not in my favor, out of the way. So I did that. I have to spend the money. It costs 7. So I'm going to take 3 back. I did that. I'm good.
Okay. Let's see. How many monies do I have? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay. I'm going to follow Jeremy. He gets a popcorn. Going to hire the golden wheel for 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And I am not going to retire just yet.
Good. Okay, so like I have kind of a pattern going here right now, as you saw before. On my turn, I gain 4 approval, but then I have to lose 3 of it on the shortchange artist at the end if I'm not careful. And so the obvious thing to do would be to take the Barker action, get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next time I perform, I get up a level and I don't sort of lose any of the benefit. So that's what I did.
Okay. This is rare. I very rarely take this action. I'm going to Circus Manager again, but just to retire the golden wheel that I hired, which I can do, right? You can't retire the card that you just played, but it's 2 separate turns. So I'm not going to hire anything, but I will retire. And the reason being that I don't want to fill my 6th slot and then create an empty space, and then have to skip over some actions when I perform. And this card in particular, it's a when activated, once it's in the sideshow, that every time anyone hires a curiosity, you get 2 monies. Would have been great to have this earlier in the game, but I do have curiosities I'm going to play, and so the...
You want that money.
Yeah, the bet there is that I'm going to just generate money, and so it's worth a turn.
Have you been rotating your...
I didn't. Good call. So, boop, boop. I only did it 1 time, so it would have been like an empty space here, which means I probably could have, but that's all good.
So it is. Now, as I signaled, I'm going to perform that, get my 5. I'm sort of skipping over the spec this round because I'm still so in building phase. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still 2 cards behind, which is okay. 2 cards is okay. So got my 5. I'm going to take the 1, 2, 3 from this guy. The goat gets me 1 more, which increases my reputation, and I get my 2 popcorn. And now, excuse me, and 1 coin. Let us see if we can win our game of chance for once. This is a kind of high risk, high reward one compared to others. That is a 9. I actually did win this time, so I get 4 money out of that one. And then, of course, I don't lose any reputation, but I get another 4 money. So you can see this is me playing kind of a high income type of a game. Go ahead.
I'm going to do Circus Manager 3rd time in a row, and I'm going to hire my
Making change.
curiosity. A curiosity, the Blacklight Theater. It is a curiosity. I pay 4 for it. It also has 2 allure tags, but as Jeremy said a while ago, I would just activate the allure tag ability 1 time, no matter how many tags there are. So I will get total 4 popcorn, 2 money, 2 approval. So 2 money, approval, oops, and then 4 popcorn. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So traded 6, and then get a 10. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And because I just hired a curiosity, my golden wheel is activated and I get 2 monies.
I'm going to get some cards. Take that horse acrobatics. Take that aerial globe. Get rid of that guy. There's some good ones for you.
Yeah, because I got a lot of 1 ringers.
Would you call me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5.
Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Okay, we will see. Okay. Circus Managed 4th time in a row. Very rare. I am going to actually fill my big top. Hired the blockhead for 3. It is a curiosity. So I will get 2 monies from my golden wheel. Oops. I will also activate the higher curiosity, which is 2 approval, 2 more popcorn. And that is it.
Okay, get a popcorn. I'm going to hire my horse acrobatics. Cost me 10. That's my move.
Okay.
Oh, and I should have, the last time I performed, I meant to swap these 2. These are the only 2 that I
had at the time.
had at the time, so you have to swap those 2.
I keep forgetting to grab the red tents. So I'm going to grab that feet. I've had four for a minute. And I think that's good there. And so my actual move will be, Okay, I'm going to Barker first because I have a lot of curiosities that would cause me to lose approval, and I want to get to the next level before that. So I will do 4 here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. I won't spend a peanut for the extra one. I bump up to 6. I get 2 popcorn for that. So waiting until I perform so that I don't lose all of that approval. Okay.
Good? Okay, I am going to perform. Move that up, get my 5. And because I played horse acrobatics, I now gain all 8 approval on one turn. So I gain 3, 1, 2, 3 with that one. I gain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 with my horse acrobatics. That's it there. And then I'll do the goat, 1 and 1 money. And that kicks me up to 7. So I get 2 popcorn there. I'll roll the dice. Did I get my 2 money from the goat, or my 1 money from the goat? I think I did, yeah. That is an 11. I win again. I am invincible. So that's 4. And then of course I still can't lose anything, so I'll take another 4 for my short change artist. And I'm good.
Okay, I'm going to... Did you move this up?
I moved it up.
Okay, cool. I'm going to Talent Scout. Grabbing Globe of Death and just a random card because I don't want anything here. And I'm going to take a look here, see. Jeremy is going for high valued cards in terms of cost. So there's nothing high cost here. We do have 3 rings as a feat, so I'm just going to both of these are 3 rings, just so happens, but I'll just discard 1. I'm actually going to take that back. Discard 1 that has 2 tags because one of the abilities up here, the feats, excuse me, is a per tag. So if you ended up wanting to choose one of those, it counts for 2 of those feats, and it just gets them a little bit closer. So that's just the calculation. Makes it easier. Oof.
What do you know?
Is that what you wanted?
Not necessarily.
Got some good ones over here for you too.
Yeah,
so then I
look at
refilled,
that.
and that is my turn.
That's your turn. Okay, I'm gonna circus manage. I'm gonna hire my magician into the 4th slot. Still not retiring anything. I have to pace a little bit faster now because I'm now 2 cards behind still. I was for a moment there, I was like 4 cards behind or something, but that's okay. So that cost me 7. And it's on higher abilities. I gain 6 peanuts. I already had 1 in my supply, so I'm just going to grab the other 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm full up. 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And I'm good.
Okay. I will. Are you going to perform next? No.
You have no idea what I'm
You're
going to do
You're
next.
going to hire. I can tell by how much
Can
money
you?
he has. I'm hoping. So I'm going to perform. Before I perform, what I'm going to do is potentially flip my Wunderkammer and activate its on play action. And its on play action is that I gain 2 approval for every curiosity in my circus, including this one, including my ringleader, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which would be 16. Which
2
would
whole
allow
levels.
Me, 2 whole levels. I think I'm going to do that before I kind of like gain, and a lot of my curiosity cards force me to lose reputation. So I'm going to do that first. So it'll be 16. Once you use it, you flip it.
Yeah, although it's even, right? It would go around
Yeah.
exactly 2 times. But
Well, I guess I'm
that's
off
the
1.
reasoning.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you're right.
And you're back
actually.
to the start.
And then that's up 2, so I get 6 popcorns. let's see, 6. So I will give you 4 and then get 10. So I did that, and then I will proceed with everything else. Move up the rest, get 3 money.
Oh, your son is still sleeping in the Cirque
Yeah.
box. This is the most expensive cat bed I've ever designed.
And then I will...
Also the least expensive.
True. I will go ahead and activate my spec, get 1 and 1, so I don't forget about that. As part of my red tents, I gain 2 and 1. I will rotate everything at the end. I lose 2, gain a peanut and 3 more monies. Give you 2 to get 5. I get approval, peanut, popcorn. I lose 1, get another peanut, and
Quit
get
the engine.
2 monies, which I will give 3 to get 5. And then the blockhead, so if my card value or my ticket value, excuse me, is less than 4 or greater than 6, I do things. I am greater than 6 because I'm at 8, so I will lose 2, but I don't drop below.
Mm-hmm.
And then gain a peanut and a popcorn, so I'm at 6. And then because I did activate all of my big top actions, I'll do it again. I'm at my capacity with my peanuts, unfortunately, and then I will take 1 extra popcorn, and that is everything.
Okay.
Yes.
Get a popcorn.
Nice. There's something.
Sorry for resting us. I know you didn't want that.
I didn't.
So I'm gonna do that. We're at the end of this. We're triggering the end of rest. I'm gonna get my 5, and then I'll get my 8. So well, let's do it in order. 1, 2, 3, and I didn't swap things again. I always do this. That's okay. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for the horse acrobatics. 1, 2, 3 for the solo trapeze. Nothing for the magician. Just doesn't do anything. And then I get my 1 from the goat. I'm up to 8 now as well. We paced just about the same within 1 turn. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 1 money for the goat. Roll the die. I want more than an 8. I did not get it. 6. Same thing though with that. I do get my 4 money for the short change artist. So swap that out. And that is the end of that portion of the turn. Once again, I'm the one that rested us. And so everybody retires 1.
Which I did.
I'm going to retire my magician and steal 4 money from you.
What do I get?
So here, you can have this 1 and I'll take that 5. You don't get anything.
Really?
Yeah, but that's it. That's the only time it ever happens.
That sucks.
What, now you see it, now you don't. And so that's the card I retired. Now we move on to our, and
I have a question about my
Yeah.
retire. I can't activate this now.
because it's not your turn.
Right. Okay.
If
If I had retired, if I had been the one to rest us, I could.
No, because
Okay.
it's still not your turn.
Fair.
It's nobody's turn. It's rest period. We're just going in player order.
Okay.
And then I'll do my purples. I've got the 1 purple here, 2 and 2, so I get 4 passive income. And then I get 1 money for every 4 that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 32 divided by 4 is 8. So I get 8. This is one of the reasons I'm playing this the way that I am, because I'm now making money on money. And even though money doesn't get me anything at the end of the game, it's a means to an end. But now I will spend that 10 of it for 4 popcorn. I'm 5 popcorn. I'm now debating though. I might not, because I have expensive cards and I'm behind. And being able to play a card is probably more valuable than the money itself, than the popcorn value itself.
So from
And I have enough. Maybe I'll do like 2.
for
I'll get 2
mine,
popcorn.
I retired the broom suspension.
And
I flipped over
I have to
my
make a renown claim.
Wunderkammer. Sorry. Go ahead. Do
I'll
you
do
do
that
all
one.
of that first before I?
Technically,
Okay.
we do it simultaneously, but I mean, except for this one, we always do in order because it's strategy. But technically, you
Okay. So I will claim
realistically, a lot of these people can do at the same time.
True.
Just so that everybody's not
Speeds it
sitting around. Yeah.
So I retired my curiosity. I flipped over the one-time action per round from my Wunderkammer, so that's back in play for the next round. I have one purple rest action, which is gain one of a bunch of things. It's a money, approval, peanut, which I can't have anymore, and then popcorn, because I'm already at my capacity, so I'll get one, and then a money. And then my also ringleader action is that I will draw again until I get a curiosity. You want to reset our
Yep. Well, I never bought one that time.
Okay, so this is Menagerie, and my second card I pulled was a curiosity, so I'll keep it in my hand. And okay, interesting. So I will. Okay. So I
kind of wanted some of those cards, but
6, me too.
Oh well.
Okay.
Good? Okay. Sword balancing. Another clown. And another game of chance. Après-vous.
Let me come back to that. Oof, what's all that? Circus manage. My acrobatics. And I pay 6. And I'm debating whether I retire something. Okay, I'm going to retire my. That's a good card in the. Okay, I'm going to retire my fire eating. And paid my 6, and then it was not a curiosity. I hired an acrobatics, but it does have an allure card or allure tag, so I will get 2 monies and 2 popcorn. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh.
Did you pay for your?
I did not. So, 2. There you go. I didn't pay for my
You just
single.
rewound the thing you did.
I know. I had to do it in that order though to help my brain keep
For
track.
your brain, yeah.
So that was my turn.
Okay, I'm going to perform again, partly because I'm playing this money strategy, but partly because I have enough of these peanuts to grab this spec, and really what I want, above all, right in this turn, I'm grabbing the one that gives me a card and a peanut. So I get 1 peanut back. Actually, what I should do is I do that, I get my 5 from my base, and then now I'm in the big top phase. So I got my peanut back, and then I get a card. I really want the sword balancing, so that's why I'm doing that. And then nothing for that. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the horse acrobatics. 1, 2, 3 for the solo trapeze. I'll swap those now so I don't forget. The order of this particular engine doesn't matter anyway. 1 for the goat. I'm at 8, and I went around the horn 1 more time, so I do get 4 every single time. So 4 popcorn. Now I'm generating points every turn. This is desirable. And 1 money. I'm going to roll the die. I need more than an 8. I got an 11. I've been pretty lucky on that one this last half of the game. So that is another 5. And then short change artist, I get another 5. I'll just trade this 6 in and grab a 10. It's possible we don't get to rest again. 2-player games don't always get to rest more than a couple of times, 2-3 times. We've had instances where they went 4 times, but not very often. And that's my turn. Now I need to go on a hiring spree to catch up, which she knows, and she'll probably hang around that circus manager action to try to poach some popcorn off of me.
Or she. Let's see, 1, 2, 3.
Trade that in for a 10.
Question. So this is a curiosity card. When I play a curiosity, I get. No, I lied. Yeah, when I play a curiosity, I get money.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to retire it right away.
If you decided to. Because it's got an optional. This one has the scale symbol,
that's right.
so you do not have to.
I don't have to, but it could be good.
We're talking about the chained escapism.
Mm-hmm. It's got an ability once you play it to retire it immediately, but I'm wondering order of operations. I won't have the money to pay to retire. It's pay 3, but I would get it in the course of playing it. I would get 2 from here, and then I would have the money. So that means I could do it.
You could do it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do that. That's fun. So I'm gonna do Circus Manager again. I pay the 5. It is a curiosity, which means I'll get 2 monies right when I play it, per my golden wheel, and then I can pay 3 to immediately retire it to my sideshow, which I will do, just because I can, which just allows me to have that empty slot right away. There's nothing else that I really want to retire at this point, so it's a good option. And that is my turn, except for it is a curiosity, so I also get 2 popcorns to approval for my ringleader. Okay, cool.
Okay. I'm gonna, as I said, Circus Manage, so you get that.
Popcorn.
Aerial Globe. No, let's, we'll do that first. That costs 10. That's good. I'm good.
Okay. Need some money, so I'm going to perform. Move the rash track. I get 3 to start. Over here, I lose 2, but I will gain 3 monies. And a peanut, which what I would have done is just pay the peanuts first to get this card action, or this card spec, so that I will get a peanut from that, which I still can only have a max capacity of that. And then I will get a peanut once more, and a popcorn. And then lose 1, gain 2 and a peanut. I don't have capacity for peanuts, unfortunately. It is greater than 6, my approval, but I don't have anything to lose since I'm already at the bottom of that track. And then I won't activate this as empty. I don't have anything here, except I do think I want to do some actions. So I'm going to go ahead and pay 2 to increase my max peanut capacity. What I actually should have done is done that first, so that I could have collected some of those peanuts that I wasn't able to, but I forgot. So this is a one-time action, but
broom suspension.
The broom suspension, thank you. But you place a cube every time you've done it, up to 3 times. So just a reminder, I have done it this turn. Can't do it again. I paid 2, and now my peanut capacity is 7 rather than 6. The only reason I'm doing that, there is a ringleader card that correlates well with to have increased peanut capacity, but I also have a card over here, the Fire Eater, that's in my sideshow. Its orange power at the end is a scoring ability that I gain a point, a star, for each peanut capacity. You start at 6, so it's already 6 points. Now it's 7. If I could activate this again.
It's 8. Plus 2.
Oh, plus 2. It's 8 points.
Look at that.
Okay. So potential to get you 6 more points
Yeah.
when it's paired with the Fire Eater, which is not bad at all.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Great.
Not for you, but yeah.
Not for me, no. Okay, I'm going to hire again. I'm going to hire my strong woman for 12. 15, and I'll get back 3. And that's my move.
I would have used this to grab a card.
Go
which
for
I'm
it.
going to do. Which is why I bought
You
them.
want it so badly.
I do really want that curiosity. Which is why I paid the peanuts toward that specific spec. And then I will give Jeremy a bone and also Circus Manage so he gets that popcorn for me going to the same space. I am hiring the Sword Swallower. It is 3, 4, 5. But when I play a curiosity, I get 2 monies per my golden wheel. So I take that back. And then it is a curiosity. It is also a lore tag. So I activate those 2 things on my ringleader. It's 4 popcorn, 2 approval, 2 monies total. There's that. And then 4 popcorn, 2, 4, 6. So give 6 and get the 10. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Get a popcorn.
I'm debating whether I'm
you're
going to
retire something?
anything.
You can see the pace of this game picks up towards the end because you have more resources. You're able to do things kind of quicker, and you start looking at the other person and you're like racing towards the end. The game ends when somebody has filled their circus and the other person gets one more move. And so you don't want to be caught out with too many empty spaces. Ideally.
Okay, I think I'm good, actually.
Okay. I'm going to hire Hat Tricks for 8. And I'm going to retire Aerial Globe there.
Okay.
One of the trade-offs with how many curiosities Aya has is there are very few curiosities that have 3 rings on them.
Right.
And so this feat is relatively harder to achieve.
Yeah, I think I'm toasted up there with the feats. There's really nothing that made sense.
I mean, don't talk to me about that. I think I'm okay with them if I can get a few things down on the board before you finish it out.
Okay, going to perform. I will pay 4 peanuts to get this, and I will get a peanut back for that. I will also get a popcorn and a card. Nothing that I want here that's open, so I'm gonna test my luck. Didn't get anything I wanted. And then I will lose 2. Oops, let me actually gain my 3 money at the top of that. Me getting ahead of myself. Lose 2, gain 3, so I'll give 2 for that. And a peanut, which I can now have 8, so we can count up there. I get a peanut and a popcorn for my acrobatics human pyramid. I lose 1, but I can't anymore, so I'm good there. I get a peanut and 2 monies. And then I lose 2 from this. Blockhead doesn't apply here. Get another popcorn for my sword swallower, and then 2 approval, 1 monies for aerial hoop. And now that I have actually completed everything in this, I will also rotate everything. So let's see.
While you're doing that, I'm going to hire again.
Oh, I'm going to do one more thing.
Oh, you are doing one more thing. Yeah. My apologies, ma'am.
My apologies, ma'am. Kudos if you know where that's from. And then also what I'm going to do is do the pay 3 peanuts to retire a performer to your sideshow. I'm going to activate my kind of on demand, if you will, chained escapism. Pay 3 peanuts to retire something right away, which will be my sword swallower. This is going to be a very interesting
end of the game
bit because
I'm hiring sword. You've got sword swallowing. I'm hiring sword balancing. Cost me 9. That and the 1. And that's it for me.
Okay.
Not going to retire.
Counting my monies. Fascinating. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm gonna try something. I'll narrate here in a second. 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's 12. So one of my dilemmas here is that I only have 1 free spot in my big top, which means I could hire and then retire and just leave a kind of empty spot open, but of course it'll be somewhere higher in the count, which means I'll have to skip some spots when I'm performing. I am a little strapped for money. Everything toward the end costs a little bit more, especially if you're holding on to some larger cards. But one of the dilemmas there is that I don't really want any of these in my sideshow. I want some of the cards that are currently in my hand in my sideshow, excuse me. So what I'm going to do is Circus manage. He will get the popcorn since he's already there. Hire the Globe of Death, which is technically a 9 ticket value. No, there's no way to get 9, so you always have to have an additional 3 peanuts to pay for something that is 9. Which is that second part there. And then it is 12, so I'll do that. It is not a curiosity, it is a card with an allure tag, so I will get 2 popcorn, 2 money for that before I forget. And then one of the things that I'm thinking about is that it's immediate action, the pink power, is that I can swap it with any 2 other cards in my circus. There are lots of abilities that allow you to like swap like Jeremy has, like in the big top. This one is from sideshow to big top, 2 things in a big top, 2 things in a sideshow. So I'm just going to use that strategically, not this moment, and want to think about it a little bit longer to potentially move something from the sideshow back to the...
You're going to put your Wunderkammer back in the...
I am. I'm going to put my Wunderkammer back into the big top,
top
because in the big top it's 8 points, in the sideshow it's 2, so it's an automatic 6-point gain. But I'm not going to do that until after I've actually flipped the card, which to use its action, and you can only use its pink action when it's in the sideshow. I'm going to do that actually now. It's still part of my turn.
Okay.
And so it gives me 2 approval for every curiosity in my circus, including this one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it gives me 20 approval. And that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How many times did it go around? Twice.
I was counting for you.
You were. So it would go up twice, which means I would get 8 popcorn. So I'm going to grab a 10 and then give back 2. So even though it's flipped, I can still move it back into this space later, which I think...
Now, hypothetically, you could do that now, and it would reflip over, and then if you retired it again, you could do it again.
Again, in the same turn.
Not in the same turn, but in the same
round.
Between rest periods.
I think I will actually, I'm going to keep it there, but I probably will swap this one with the card I just played. It's one of the rare occasions that you can...
With this one? You can't.
To other cards.
To other cards.
That's right.
Anyway, I'll let you think about that one. I'm going to go... I have to get cards, but I'm going to perform. I'm going to... I'll get my 5, and then I will activate the spec first, because I kind of need a card. That is just fine. This is interesting. Okay, and then a peanut, which is great. And then because I'm still in the spec phase, I could hypothetically get another big, another spec, but I have bought the other gold, so I think I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, why not? I'll spend the 2. I'll get 1 back because I'm taking the silver, the one peanut one, and then I get my 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 approval. Swap these 2. Which I wouldn't have to be till the end of the turn. I'm going to get 2 popcorn for the sword balancing, and then it's going to increase the rest track 1 more time, and then I am going to pay for, this might be stupid, to get 4 popcorn. This is a better exchange value than the value I get just with my financier, so I'm kind of taking advantage of that. 1, 2, 3, 4 popcorn, and then in my big top, in my sideshow, I get the 1 and 1 for the goat, 1 approval, 1 money. I get 4 more popcorn for going around the approval loop again. I roll the die. I get a 1. That is not ideal. I get my 4 money from Short Change Artist. And then I did perform all 6 big top acts, and so I get 4 more popcorn. In this case, performing doesn't necessarily mean that all 6 of your big top acts were red abilities. It just means that you have 6 and there were no X's and you sort of went around all the way. So that's my performance. I did my spec. I'm good.
Did you do your blue?
I did all my blues.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Do you have any curiosities that you've played? No.
No.
I'm just curious. Okay.
Curious.
So I will. Question. I can activate these even after, if I took the perform and rested us, I could still activate these before.
If we rested and they came back, you could do it again.
So no. So like, no. Can I, not this one, I'm sorry, but I can activate this at the end of my performance even if I move us to rest?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You'll have to just declare that your turn is over at some point.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is give Jeremy that popcorn. I'm going to rest us, so you get a popcorn love.
Okay.
And then
I'm counting.
I got 3 for that. I move us around, get my 4 popcorn from moving up 1, and then a money. I lose 2, doesn't apply. I'll get a peanut. I will get 3 more money, so I give 2 in exchange for 5. I get another peanut and a popcorn. And then I lose 1, doesn't apply. I'll get another peanut and 2 monies, so I'll give 3 for 5. Doesn't apply for me to lose anything from Blockhead. And then I don't have any blue tents here. I do have to rotate all of mine, and then I do have to activate the draw card, get another popcorn and a peanut, and then draw a card. Again, don't want anything here. I'm going to take a risk, see if I get anything I want. Not really, sort of. And then
You got enough cards for how many slots you got?
I do. And then I will, even though I'm activating us or putting us into rest, I'm going to go ahead and use my Game of Chance Globe of Death and swap 2 cards. So I'm going to make my Wunderkammer into the big top, and then I'll move my acrobatics there.
Your
Would
human
that then,
pyramid.
or excuse me, my human pyramid, would that then activate as part of rest if I did it before?
You could have done it in the middle, and then, well, you wouldn't have been able to activate the human pyramid, and then.
Right. Yeah, so it has to be, okay. That was that. Got these, and then now that we're in rest, we each have to retire, and cool. So I will retire.
Okay. So I'm retiring. I'm going to retire my sword balancing.
Mm-hmm.
So now, for short change artist, instead of losing those 3, I now gain them, which is not bad. I'm into that. Okay, get rid of those. Get rid of your specs. I'm going to just do my purples over here.
My purple is basically one of a bunch of different things: a peanut, a popcorn, approval, and money.
Oh, 21,
I also
20.
Do you need to draw cards for any reason?
No reason.
Okay, I will draw until I get an allure or curiosity right away. Cool.
And I'm also getting 6 popcorn for my hat tricks. Earn 3 popcorn for each 3 tags in your big top. I did that. I have 6 tags in my big top.
6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Can I do this?
Yep.
Look at you. Curiosities, all this stuff. Okay, I did that. I'm not going to trade money for popcorn at this time. Redo our specs.
That's a good one.
Oops. That was on the gold. Okay. Aya rested us. So I go first. I'm going to deny her a couple of things. This is for strategic and other reasons.
And I did not, neither of us wanted to claim a renown, I don't think.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Some money there. Let's see. Theatrics, another curiosity. Did you just pull one that was basically the same thing? I think you just did.
Hmm?
You just pulled one away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
The baby dragon fossil and the organ grinding.
Okay. Similar sideshow abilities. Okay, this is where we get like really serious. Like we talk less because it's like crunch time for the last few.
So go.
So go. Okay. I'm going to circus manage and hire my ostrich for 9. So 5 and 4. And I will also go ahead and pay 3 peanuts to retire a performer to your sideshow. And I can do that on my turn, even though I just hired this one. Move it straight over to the sideshow.
That's right, because you're doing it not as part of the circus manager action.
Right. So that is that.
Okay. Now, I know that I have at least 2 turns, but possibly fewer than that. I'm looking, she has only 5 money. So I'm thinking maybe I get 3 turns.
I would have 2 more monies because my last performer had an allure tag, so then I would activate that for my...
Okay.
So now I have 7 monies.
Now you have 7 monies. One of the things I need to have in hand is at least one more of those feats. So I'm actually going to get cards again, even though I'm kind of under the gun here. I'm going to take the puppet show.
That's a good one.
And I'm going to take this chair balancing. And I'm doing that because I know I can clear that curiosity. I don't think she needs it anyway, but the giraffe that would have been nice. That's okay. There we go. And we'll see how badly I might have bitten myself.
Really see a lot of equestrians through the game. Let's see. Yeah, it's not really doing much there. Let's see. Okay. Debating. I think this may be my last turn.
Look at you go.
Simply because I did get money from playing that last allure tagged performer, and I thought I was going to have to perform again to get more money to play something from my hand. And I'm just debating, final card, what will get me the most points? Am I going for more allure tags? I don't happen to have another curiosity in my hand, otherwise I would play that, as it adds up points for my ringleader. Like I said, this was really long shot for me from the beginning. I never had any cards that really had a lot of 3 rings. As Jeremy mentioned, a lot of the curiosity cards are more of a 1 ring, or even maybe a question mark every once in a while, which could count as any of them. Theatrics never really saw, equestrians never saw, and then I was going for mostly allure tags, so I was never really going to get 3 sets. So not a lot happening for me there in terms of last minute, what can I add up? So I am going to hire as my last
You're going to
move.
ruin my life?
Beat him at his own game, literally. And then...
We'll see.
We'll see.
Probably.
I will hire the mime, which is theatrics. I pay 7 for it. It does have an allure tag, so I will get 2 more popcorns, 2 more monies as my very last thing. And then the last thing I will also do is pay 2 to increase my max peanut capacity by 2, because while it doesn't do a lot for me in the game right now, it does give me points per my fire eating. So that is everything.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to hire... if I had 2 moves, I would have been able to get 2 of those feats, and I would have been able to fit 2 of those, 2 of these slots. But as it is, I took a gamble. She capitalized on that gamble. So I'm going to... Your player marker now is off, so she doesn't get the bonus, because she's done, out of the game. She doesn't get the bonus, but I'm going to do Hypnotism there. It cost me 8. A lot of talking today. There we go. And that is my 6th 3 ring. I would have played a different card with 3 rings and then 1 more to get the 3 sets, but I did not have, I had no allure tags because you hogged them all. So I hired that one, and then I'm going to retire this. Just moving this over here gets me 3 points, so I might as well do that, the hat trick. And that's it. And for the first time in a while, actually, I'm several cards behind. Usually it's a little closer than that, but I had eyes wider than the cards in my hand or something along those lines. So that's that. My turn is over. I'm now off the board. The game is over, and we tabulate points. I don't know where the pen is in the box. No, your son left. I didn't see him go.
All the hair flying everywhere.
Okay, first things first. Feats. I got 14 points in feats.
I got 4, which is very rare. Normally we do kind of aim for those or try to make them work if they make sense, because they are pretty high valued.
Yeah, I think you definitely beat me this game. This is, I think I played a couple of things wrong. We each got 12 renown tokens. So in 2-player, as it says there, you get, the first player gets 6, and second place gets 0. We split. We didn't contest very much each other because we had our own niches. So we both get 12. You have a lot of orange, so scoring abilities, I'll let you... I'll do mine first because it's very simple. I get 2 points per card that costs at least 7 to hire. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which means I get 22 points orange power, and I have no other orange powers.
Okay. I have a few. I just want to point this one out because I think it's kind of fun. The Blacklight Theater is a curiosity. It has 2 allure tags, which helps with my ringleader. But if it were in the sideshow, I would lose a point for every curiosity. It would give me 7 points for being in the sideshow, but I lose 1 for everyone.
And you have a lot of curiosities.
Right, and so it's not really a beneficial card to play with the collector ringleader necessarily if you're going for curiosity cards, but it helped with a lot of other things, so I just made sure I never put it in the sideshow, which was part of the strategy of like making sure I never had to, accidentally retire that one instead of something else. So I'm gonna ask for your help holding points in the head.
Okay.
I gained 3 points for each curiosity and 1 for each allure tag. So 1, I'll do the curiosity first. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 curiosities.
30.
So that's 30 points, and then 1 point for each additional allure tag. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 42 for my ringleader.
I think I got crushed this game.
And then I gain 1 for my ostrich,
too.
just so that, because we're counting the same thing. Ostrich gives me another points, for each allure tag as well. I just counted 12, so it's an additional 12, so 54.
54.
I gain 1 star for each 0 ring in my circus, which is always the
One
little
ring.
icon. Excuse me, 1 ring in my circus, which worked out well with curiosities. So I have 1, 2, 3. This question mark counts as 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 64. And then I also get a star or a point for each peanut capacity, which you start with 6. I increased it twice for 2 more, so it's 10. So 10 points there, so 74 points. Which is pretty good.
You sure you didn't miss any?
Yeah.
74. Holy moly. Popcorn. You beat me there too. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 35 popcorn. That amounts to 17 points worth of popcorn. It's two popcorn for 1 point.
64, so 32.
So 32. And I don't even want to know. Performer value. We'll count these silently.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
66.
66. You spanked me. We'll put the final scores up. I don't want to do them in my head right now, but
He just doesn't want you to show.
I said I'll put them up. I said I'll put them up, and I will. I think just speaking to our normal games, the spray pattern, so to speak, of this is usually tighter. You do have these games where somebody, inevitably in a game with this much randomness, not randomness, but this much RNG is the gamer term for it. The components and the mechanics are designed to minimize how random it feels for the player. But just like any game that's sort of like this, the tableau builders where there's lots of different cards and lots of card interactions, every once in a while you have one of these games where somebody seems to win big. But it really doesn't happen as often as you'd think, because most of the time you respond to things. The better you get at the game, the better you get at responding to those things. So for instance, I was probably too focused on the cards that were worth more than 7. They give me a couple points apiece, and that's worth something. But I really think that earlier on I should have said, okay, here are the... I even said it at the beginning of the video, but then I didn't do it. I think I could have made better choices to get, for instance, those extra 12 points from that extra feat. Or, I probably was not going to challenge her over in the Renown, but maybe playing cards that had bigger base values instead of deciding, oh, I have this ringleader, I need to play specifically to the ringleader playstyle. Maybe my better bet would have been to say, okay, the financier gets me this one thing, but I see your ringleader really, that your circus is leaning hard towards it, and so maybe I need to come up with a better strategy. I think I would have done better if I had recognized that a little sooner.
Yeah, and potentially, as he was talking about with the feats, my ringleader leans heavily toward curiosities, and sometimes you get curiosities, like you get the cards you need that play to your ringleader, sometimes you don't. In this instance, I had 1 or 2 in the beginning of my opening hand.
Yeah.
I think I had 1, but then there was some laid out in the player board here where I could have drawn, so I didn't have to do so much of that random drawing. Other benefit is that this card allows me to draw so that I always have at least 1 at the beginning of the turn or after the rest. So he saw that I was playing them. Maybe one of the things he could have, done, seeing that I'm filling up my board, is that I'm never going to hit 5 theatrics. I really didn't have enough spaces for those, and I was never going to really go for equestrians either. So those could have been higher scoring points that he got, knowing that I
probably should have.
Yeah, only ever did 1. It's one thing to kind of consider, but you never know what someone has in their hand. There have been plenty of games we've played with just the 2 of us or other people where we didn't really aim for those until the end of the game. So you thought, oh, no one's going to get them, and then they do. So
and sometimes you get them a lot quicker early on, and then you can move on to other things.
Right.
It's also like you got particularly lucky this game. You can see how many cards are left in the deck, and it is statistically unlikely that not only would you get so many curiosities at once, but you would also get the ostrich. You would also get the combination of fire eating and broom suspension that lets you play that off of each other.
The globe of death,
which allowed
me to count all the 1 rings, which tend to be
curiosities or like heavy into 1 rings. It's like not only that they would show up in half the deck all there, but that you would get them and not me.
Right.
And so there's a little bit of there can be a little bit of luck there, but I think overall it just happens. I still had fun building every single game is like a different little puzzle that you're trying to solve, and I still had fun doing it. The last thing I'll say about this particular game vis-a-vis the, playing Cirque with your friends and family at home, this 2-player game took longer than significantly longer than a normal 2-player game for us would take, because we were yapping the whole time. We were talking about the mechanics. We were narrating everything we're doing. The play time on the box is 30 minutes per person. In a group that's really just sort of playing, and there's going to be chit chat and there can be getting up and getting snacks or whatever, it really does come down to that. Like when we play by ourselves on the weekend, it's usually about an hour a game between the 2 of us. And so I know this video is a little bit longer, but don't dissuade you from, don't make you think that this is like a 2-hour game or something like this. It's actually, as you saw, the moves can be really snappy, and the pace of the game is as fast as you want to play it, really.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you for engaging. If you're still here, congratulations, kudos to you. This was actually a really fun thing. We don't often talk, psychologically, we don't often talk through what we're doing all the time. I usually have a sense of what your motives are for each of the moves that you're doing. I know I know everything about you. But so this was a kind of a fun activity to do. And if you have any questions, as always, like and subscribe. I have to say these things. But if you have any questions or rule clarifications, or if you want to know more about a particular card or a play style or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment in the description. Feel free to reach out on social, ask anything. The rule book is downloadable. You'll find that in the description of the video. And of course, the last thing I have to plug, the Gamefound campaign, the crowdfund campaign, is launching August 1st. It'll run for 30 days or 31 days. It's going through the end of August. And like I said at the beginning, I thank you in advance for your support there. I've had a real blast making this game, and my #1 playtester and producer, executive producer, or whatever we're calling, marketer, has been a real contributor. In these play sessions, we find things, we fix things. So
yeah, it was a pleasure. Really fun. Always good kicking your butt.